Seagate. Great. Presented by Brian Jones. I'm a representative from Seagate. Today we are here to show you a motherboard and the hard drive we're trying to push for you to buy as a company. Our background history. Seagate is an American data storage company that was started in 1978, formerly known as Shurgard Technology, founded by Alan Shugart, currently imported in Dublin, Ireland, but has our executive office in California. Seagate is the global leader in data storage solutions. We develop amazing products that enable people around the world to preserve their most critical memories and business data. That's the California office. Intel, the motherboard we're presenting today is the Intel Box DX79SR motherboard. This is a gaming motherboard we're presenting today. This is the best suits our outstanding hard drive.
Oh wait, you were going to go first.
Well, I can't.
This board specifications can be found here.
Yeah, hopefully.
Here, a rough overview of the specifications retaining its hard drive capabilities follows. Storage devices. It has 4 total.
Is anyone else giving blood during my class?
I was gonna. They told me I was too late. 4 SATA storage, 3 gigabyte, 3 SATA, or no, there's 4. SATA 3 gigabytes times 4 connectors, and then SATA 6 gigabyte per second 4 connectors. And then they can
So the top 4 are SATA what?
3 gigabytes. Oh, SATA, I think it's all 3 more.
Could be wrong. Those are SATA 2 and those are SATA 3. That's the definition of SATA 2 and SATA 3. I don't know why I have to understand. You have 4 SATA 2 ports and 4 SATA 3 ports. Where are they?
Right here.
Which one's
As you can tell by the arrows.
Well, you know, no picture could really justify. I looked for a better angle, but all I could get was like the back angle. You can see them like right there, but this is kind of like my best bet.
So,
On
the
the back
black one's
top.
SATA 2, and the blue and the gray SATA 3, or vice versa? How do I know?
You just take a guess.
You're gonna have to wing it. Okay.
Nope.
No.
Go back.
Oh gosh, man. We're just
Go
looking
back.
at-
The back arrow on the keyboard. Click on our here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ignore that it's out of style. Only that.
Go back up.
There it is.
What happens when you click on it? We don't do that definition. Don't need that definition. I thought you actually had a link to the real Intel site, not to the sales site. So
No,
go
I
ahead
couldn't.
and go back to the
It wouldn't like. It didn't have like.
That's okay. Go ahead and go back to the server. You don't need to close this.
So that's the motherboard we present today. Today's hard drive is the Seagate ST400NM0033.
Okay, so under topic, subject, it would be large traditional. Obviously, we know it's a hard drive presentation. I want to know what the subject of your PowerPoint is. So you're giving us a 4 terabyte. Okay.
This is the Seagate drive, and this is an HDD type hard drive that is a very smart transparent gaming motherboard. A 4 terabyte drive with more specs that follows. Tech specs: 7200 RPM, access time of 8.4 milliseconds, read and write in gigaseconds is 740, transfer rate of 175 megabytes, a 128 buffer speed, mean time before failure 1.4 million.
Million what? 4 million what?
Or hours.
Okay. I want to put hours on there. $1 million. What? I don't understand. So, let's see. We've got a read speed of 70 Gs. What is that?
I went to
Should there
the.
be a B of some capitalization behind the G?
I thought so, and I went to
With the
their
slash?
actual website for the actual drive, and it said GS, and I was like, is that gigaseconds? That doesn't sound right. So, I can show you.
There's some kind of something. I'm gonna say gigabits per second. I don't know because you haven't given us the full
I
thing.
didn't say.
Now, anybody else in their presentation remember what theirs is? Particularly a solid state person. Anybody got a solid state person know what theirs is? And that's where we get to why not get why you wouldn't want to get a traditional drive, because a solid state is in the range of 5 to 9 times faster on the rate speeds. It's a lot faster.
Eventually,
But it can't hold 4 terabyte.
no, cannot. Sure, that looks right.
Good job. They just broke my machine. Excellent. Close program. We don't need the more specs. It's not going to
Well,
open now.
I was going to show you that it only had GS.
That's okay. Obviously, it doesn't work. Here, right click on it.
That's
Can you copy shortcut?
I was going to open up. No, because you didn't put it in your favorites. I can try it again.
I don't think it's going to open. Your link is not good.
It is good.
No, it's not.
No.
Wait. Well, it is a PDF. Too. Nope. Works on my.
Sure, whatever you say.
I will show it to you. Overview.
Yep.
Okay. This is an amazing hard drive for a.
Hard drive. Retro Raggy.
Great.
Close your eyes. You spelled right wrong.
Shut up.
Okay, go ahead.
A 4 terabyte drive for the price of $249.99, a 5-year warranty, and an iron egg price guarantee. This would be a smart choice for any consumer looking for a good HDD drive to last and meet the needs of any gamer. An amazing choice for any gaming motherboard that will fit the needs for storage and any gaming needs from a hard drive.
Come
Price.
on. Hold on. Doing math here. Okay, so your price is, we're gonna say 6 cents per gigabyte. That's how much that drive costs us. We're gonna compare that with all the other ones and see why people do buy spinning drives, because that price per terabyte is very low compared to what we're gonna see in the price.
See, you better work. The other way works. It does. See,
Sure,
No.
what do you say?
5-year. 5-year warranty. It's not as hard. There's one. Thank you. 5-year limited warranty, iron egg, all that great stuff.
What is the iron egg price guarantee?
That
And you
means-
can't find it cheaper anywhere else? Is that what it is?
Click on it.
I want the iron egg. I want to know what it is. It's
Guys, wait, wait. Oh.
guaranteed lowest price. Okay. No reason to look anywhere else. We guarantee it's the lowest price.
So don't click that tab button.
You could have just hovered over it and could have read the synopsis.
Nah, that wasn't enough text. Did you need the price setting?
Yep, got it.
Okay.
Patience you want.
Questions? Does anyone have any questions?
If you have any questions, let's see. Size 4 terabytes, speed 7200 RPM. Access time we had, read write speed, we had 70 GS, which that means. Transfer rate, what was our transfer rate?
Transfer rate? That was the read write. Oh no, hold on. What?
Nope, nope. What is our transfer rate?
Transfer rate is how fast it can. Hold on. What's it?
Get from here to here.
I know, but I'm trying to think.
But
like,
what is
I think
it?
it's
What is it?
Tonka
You
2.
know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is.
The speed in which the hard drive,
Is it SATA 1, SATA 2, or SATA 3 drive?
say that
SATA 3. So the transfer rate therefore is
six gigabytes.
Gigabits per second. So that's what the transfer rate is. You'll never get that on the regular drive. There's no way to get it. You can't read fast enough to get that, right? But that's the theoretical speed that data will transfer to. But it's theoretical because you've got a movie drive. It's not a bad drive.
I was like, it's not a bad drive. I mean, Gary bought the 1 terabyte.
I know he was awfully excited about it earlier
He
too.
told me instantly, he said, I bought it for a server.
Okay, so PowerPoint elements, text elements, how many misspellings did we have overall? That'd be writing mechanics, spelling, grammar, 3 or 4. I'm gonna go with 3 or 4 errors on that. Okay, works cited, indentation is wrong. You indent the second line of the first line. It's the opposite. A, I, L, S, those seem to be in alphabetical order. Oh my gosh, what is that huge C grade one?
Yeah, that was the PDF. Wait, no, it wasn't. Wait, was it?
That was probably the
I
one.
think you could have edited that one a little bit. We won't take up points for that. PowerPoint elements were fine. Text, we could read everything. Citations, works cited belongs to the center. And justified. Speaking was fine, Mr. Jones. You didn't. What?
I'm so dead I can't do anything yet.
Oh, you mean they take so long to charge? Are you talking about in Harrison's room or in the closet?
And,
My batteries? You know,
Did you bring a bunch back and you're
They're
gonna do
shooting
that?
that.
Well, do a good video, but just,
Because
did you
it's-
bring a whole bunch?
you plug them in and they don't even come on. And I waited because I thought, well, maybe the cable's not good because, I mean, they're new cables, they
Yeah.
should be good. And then eventually the battery comes up and it does its little charging thing and then goes off. So I think it's charging. I would say.
What, don't we have one more of those superchargers we got for him? I would use that to charge them because that one you got is gonna charge it super slow, but I think we had one more of those superchargers. If not 2 more. You know where it was? I don't even know. Huh? Use that.
I didn't even think of
So that's the way to do charging. I mean, you can have.
I was using that.
So they do pay to.
Yeah, that's very low amperage.
That's good.
That's the way to do it. That's why I'm the boss. Emma Rogers, we're ready for you. Where's your sheet?
Okay, my name's Emma Rogers. I'm from Kingston Technology. My background is just want to point that out. We are a privately held multinational computer
She's
technology.
pointing that out because you have just 2 words. Space correct.
So that's correct. Technology Corporation. Our headquarters are located in Fountain Valley, California. We were founded in 1986 by John.
Is that John 2 who? Or John 2 who?
Yes. Yes.
Who's currently still our CEO.
He's still the CEO. When was it founded?
That was a lie about that. There. I actually I looked it up.
1870s.
There's our new guy's name is like I don't know. There is actually a
She
different
fell
one.
apart like that. She would be bad to have on a crime with you guys. Just so you know, if you're ever gonna pull a heist, don't do it with them. Yeah, you're right. We did it. Right and drove. Smash the plan. Sorry.
No,
I get off easy because I just admitted everything.
Works. Fine. Link. Everything. Told you.
Yeah. How much time did it take you to pull that up and fix that?
Whatever. I hit.
Go ahead.
That.
this is the little button right there.
Okay, gotcha.
Where we're at. Okay. More background. We produce flash memory cards, USB flash drives, digital audio players, cards, and SSD. Annual revenue from 2014 was $6.0 billion, and our sales was $5.5 billion.
How can you have a revenue of $6 billion and a sales of $5 billion?
We didn't do that
It was
great.
on- it was-
Bad accounting.
It was on the website.
I mean, doesn't one have to be? Does the sale have to be bigger than the revenue?
No. Not if you scam people.
Okay.
That is what the building looks like in California.
Oh, I like the little tiki.
Did you want me to get back?
Yeah, I want to take that all in. What's the other flag?
California.
That's what I thought.
California Republic. In California.
Did you know, fun fact, California is supposed to be bear. Because they grow bears.
Do they have bears in California?
Yeah, but it was supposed to be.
That's why the new
I'm still listening.
Are you?
We've
We've been talking about gift gap.
Okay.
I'm
while
pointing
I'm
out
here,
that
I'm
you
here
need to
present
continue
an
on
SSD
with-
SATA hard drive that is suitable for a home or business PC. That is the specification of this. So we have a tweet. And the motherboard that it's SATA has two SATA 6 gigabits per second. Right there.
Oh, those aren't them. Those are eSATA ports. Those are external SATA ports. That is
Just
not
saw,
it.
I just
And
saw
you've got
SATA.
more than two.
put-
I see at least 6 from where I'm looking at right now. SATA ports.
Okay, well,
Those are your
I'll-
eSATA ports.
You might be.
No.
Okay, so your SATA ports are right here. You've got the same kind of right that go to the side. That's 2, 4, 6 SATA ports.
I just
Yeah.
saw SATA.
Those are E for external SATA points. Those are your SATA ones up there. So you've got
There's
6.
still six Okay, this is the hard drive that I have for you today.
That's what I have in my PC one.
Extra credit for that. Alright, is 240 gigabytes and has read up speed to 450 megabytes per second, and the write is the same as 450 megabytes per second. That is our speed. And transfer rate is 450 bits per second. Mean time before failure, million hours. Warranty is parts and labor is both 3 years. And I don't have a buffer.
All they do is exchange it, by the way. We've had to send some back. They just there's no parts and labor. Just it's a 3-year exchange.
Just a food exchange. Throw that up there. Cost is $98.99. Click on that. My link actually works.
Mine worked.
Show you. It is in stock. It's $98.99. You can save $11 there.
Iron Egg guarantee.
Iron Egg guarantee. Lowest price, SATA 3. Some specifications. 450 is a volume about that. Hours. 5 times faster. And 72 RPM per drive.
Okay, so in comparison, hers is 39 cents per gig, and Brighton's was 6 cents per gig, cost per storage, okay? But when it comes to speed, hers is far faster than Brighton's, who gave us no actual numbers on what the speed was.
Questions?
Okay, so at 240 gig, you got nothing there, nothing there, yep there, yep there, nothing there, yep there, there, okay. We're excited, is this indented correctly? Thank you for the correct indentations. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I didn't. And that.
We're excited.
So.
Anyone have any questions? The only thing I have is the specifications on the motherboard. Really is the only one I have to talk about. Thank you. Max?
Paste the guild.
Go ahead and pull yours up, Max.
Do what? You would have your blood take 2 and go down. What do you mean? Oh, I went to sign up. You're like, why don't you let your day late?
Why'd you whip out?
About what?
That's the last time.
Oh!
What?
Like 220. Let's talk about this.
What are you talking about?
My only fear is if I'm O negative, I don't want to be O negative. Just then
I
I'm
want
gonna
to
get
be
harassed my entire life by obstacles.
I'm
And then
wondering
you get
if
blood type.
If you could go over to your student PCs and push the C and the D in front of the appropriate
Universally.
computer screen, I'll see if you finish my fixing of your stuff. Yeah, it says on the screen, push whatever,
Do they tell
push
you?
whatever. You just have to push whatever key
No.
corresponds with what the screen is telling you.
No. Shut up for me and
Shut.
Lincoln. He's not old enough and he's not late enough. Dude.
I asked this child.
He's late enough.
This child says that. Do you think that
There you go. Thank you.
Are you giving blood pool?
No.
It's mine. It's my blood. Stay away.
No, I used to. They just pick and jab at me too much. I'm unwilling to go through that anymore. I have small veins, and last time was ridiculous.
Kind of like blood you have.
O positive. It's a good one to give.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Too bad you're not O negative. The perfect blood. Well,
What?
like O negative can give to everyone.
No, O positive can give to everyone.
No, O negative can.
O positive.
O positive can't give to A negative.
Positive is the universal donor.
A negative. Is
O negative. What?
O negative is the universal number. How is it? It's not positive because like if someone has negative blood, you can't give them positive.
I'll just tell you that every single time I've given blood, that's what they've told me.
Then they're wrong. Every nurse ever has been wrong. Google it. I'm mad now.
You're gonna bang it?
It is the.
You're right. O negative.
Hey!
I just read it.
I'm gonna
Brian did a science. He Googled it quicker than me also. I was almost there.
So I don't have my donor card.
Alright, good job. Good job.
Oh no! 4 more punches and you get this free bag of you. Dang. Well, because he's out of the angle also. Put on the table she actually loved it. I thought today was Wednesday. Papa blew my mind because it's Thursday.
Oh, I'm gonna believe what I'm gonna tell you, but I haven't.
Tuesday, I was the whole day thinking it was Wednesday. I got ready for practice and everything, and I was about to leave. And I was like, where are you going? And I was like, practice. I was like, that's Friday.
So am I the universal acceptor?
You no because
Universal
you can
something. They always told me that. I don't know.
No,
I don't care.
O
Let's just
negative can give to
proceed
everyone.
on. What?
O positive can only receive O negative and O positive.
I don't think that's true.
That is true. You can't receive any AB blood or you're.
I don't believe anything you say.
That is 100% right.
Go ahead, Mr. Shocker.
Us!
I will believe anything you say.
Yes!
Proceed on.
Alright, he doesn't have blood.
He's a vampire.
Thanks, that's information. I'm a representative from Seagate. We turn on ideas.
We turn on ideas. There you go.
You scared me.
You didn't quite say that.
Too spooky. We're American. Seagate is an American data storage company that was incorporated in 1978 as Stuttgart. Brett and I have the exact same thing. So, you notice that. It's located in Dublin, Ireland, and it is California. Next. Seagate developed the first 5.25-inch hard disk HDD drive in 1980. They were made a supplier in the microcomputer market in the 80s. And Seagate is, along with Western Digital, dominant in the HDD market. Much of their growth has come through most of the competition. This is our motherboard that we're I didn't understand because it said SATA, and mine was the only option that didn't have the word SATA in it.
What?
For the on National Trail thing, it didn't say so.
Yeah, mine was the only option that didn't have the
Chris,
word
on a drive.
Mine didn't say so.
Oh, well.
Do a PATA.
You don't even have a PATA connector on the motherboard. So what kind of SATA connectors do we have? I don't see any listing of anything.
We have none.
So, if I was to try to find them, where would they be?
Probably on the side.
Around here.
Yeah, I can see them.
Okay, hold on, give me a second. Oh, wait,
He's closer. He
Are they
can
right
see
there?
it too. Come on, Max. I'm trying to point him out.
Are they right there?
Okay.
Around
So,
there.
if I was to look down here at this picture,
Yeah, they're right there.
That's definitely a SATA. That's definitely a SATA. I think those are SATAs as well. I think you've got 6 SATA connectors, 2 going sideways, and 2 coming straight up. Of course, a better picture would be easier to
I
tell.
wish the board wasn't black. Just straight
just
black.
a little
What's wrong with
bigger.
what?
Well, nothing. But
So we're missing a little bit of our information on our thing, because how do we know that the hard drive you even tell us is going to connect up with it?
squish it together.
This is the hard drive. 1 terabyte. The speed is 72 RPMs. Access time is 4.16 megaseconds. Milliseconds. The read write speed is 195 or 193 megabytes per second. Transfer rate is 6.0 to 3.0, 1.5 gigabytes.
Okay,
per
so let's
second.
do a quick while you're there. Emma's was what read-write speed? Emma? 450. So we're looking at slightly twice as fast. They're, I don't know what this data is. It doesn't say on there. I'm sure it's on the next slide. Oh, wait, no. So you listed all the transfer rates. So is it? It's a gotta transfer rate. It's a gotta something. So is this a SATA 3 drive? Is this a SATA 2 drive? Or is this a SATA 1 drive?
SATA 3.
SATA 3. So the same, we'll see when we go to the clipping. So basically saying that for the same connection type, Max's does it at, I don't know.
Yes.
Let's see, it's not twice as slow, it's slightly more, 2.5 times slower than Emma's did, because hers was 450, right? So it's not all about the connection speed, it's also about how fast it can access the data that actually says how fast it can transfer. So yes, you can do 4 gigabits per second, but if you can only read, which by the way, okay, so I'm sorry, 6 gigabits per second is like saying 600 megabytes per second. So it's at 600 meg connection, but you can only utilize 195 of it. Okay, so whereas Emma's was a 600 megabyte, not gigabit. Okay, that's the conversion there. So at megabytes, 600, and she could actually read at 450. So she can almost match the speed that the data can transfer. Okay, but she still can't either. So if they came out with SATA 4 tomorrow, it's like, what does that mean? Probably means nothing, right? Emma's would make a difference on SATA 2. If hers was SATA 2, it would be able to read faster and it could transfer, and that would, of course, stink. So anyway, I'm just saying, if Max's was a SATA 2, it would make no difference at all, because he can't read it as fast as SATA 2 can transfer it. See what I'm getting at there? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Because it's transferring, I don't know, we're going to see when we click on the link, but we'll say 600 megabytes per second, but you can only read it at 195 megabytes per second. That's just, this difference between the big B and the little b, right? Megabytes or megabits. It's transferring at 6 megabit or gigabits, which is 600 megabytes. Okay.
How many bits are left? 8.
But if you read anything, that you're going to see a dichotomy or let's see, it doesn't even say on there. Let's go down to the specifications. See what it says
I was
there.
lost.
SATA, okay, so it is SATA 3. It says SATA 6 gigabits per second, so you were correct. Let's see his price. We got 1 terabyte at $55. Okay, so how much are we?
How are you doing your math?
He's being a genius.
Well, like what's your math?
I'm not doing any kind of math. I'm just doing it all in my head. No, I'm doing the price. Okay, so in his case, $55, and I'm dividing it by 1,000
Safe.
because that's how many megs he has, right? So his is 0.06. It's actually 55, but we'll say 06 cents per gig, which is basically the same thing we paid for writings. His was 0.06, okay? But it's the same price per gig. So for what we're saying is for a spinny drive that we've seen today, the only two we have compared, the price per gig is pretty much standard, somewhere around 6 cents a gig. As you get bigger, you get more expensive because you have more platters, you have more heads inside there, right? But the price seems to be, at least for the two that we've seen, around 6 cents a gig, whereas the one we saw for Emma's today was 39 cents. I will tell you from first period, one of the SSDs we had there was $1.96 per gig, okay, as a comparison. Okay, so Emma's was cheaper. The other one we saw first block was 81 cents per gig. They weren't Kingston. They were Intel and Crucial. Intel's or Crucial's was 81 cents a gig for their solid state. And Intel's, which is always the most expensive, was $1.96 per gig for theirs. And Emma's was Kingston, and hers was 39 cents per gig. And yours both were both Seagates, so we would think Seagate would be standardized with that pricing structure. Anybody have any questions for Max? Does anybody know what the biggest drive Windows can see right now is? If I put in a 4 terabyte drive, can Windows see a 4 terabyte drive?
No, this is 3.5, right? No.
2 terabytes is as big as it can see. So if I put in that 4 terabyte drive into my PC over there, or in this PC over here, I won't just have a D drive. I'll have a D drive and an E drive, and they'll both be 2 terabytes because it can't see bigger than 2. 2 is currently the format limitation on Windows. 2.
That's not a Windows.
2. Oh. Worksite versus not the top middle, and the indentation's not great, and NP, ND, Web, Seagate, NP, not in alphabetical order whatsoever. Why did you take up points for your PowerPoint elements? I got nothing on that, nothing on text.
I was going
nothing on citations. I didn't see any misspellings. Anybody see any misspellings on Max? I didn't see any.
I'm glad you guys just know what it is, but freaking every
Spelled
word
right,
of
right?
mine is just being pointed out, I guess. Not the right letters.
Why do I have extra sheets? Did some of you guys print out your own?
No, we couldn't find it on
No,
the
lots of lines.
Yeah, last year's lines.
No, well, I only printed 10, so
Did the first group?
I printed 10 for both groups.
Did you print off more?
No,
Then you must have.
I got a lot of extras.
Proof is in your hand.
I wonder if someone else in the class printed some out, not knowing that I had printed them out.
How many pages? We're
Well,
going to say
because
it's
no one could, you can also get a bunch of things.
Okay, it's because they weren't there, they were hidden. Let's see, who's next? Just kidding, there's no one left.
Kate's gonna come back with a blank face. Like, oh,
I hope he comes back. I forget, he said, I want to go first, and then I totally forgot that he said, I want to go first. So.
Hey, he said if you didn't present, he would be happy with that.
In trouble again? Again?
You goober!
I'm ready. Just doing some.
I'm also a representative from Intel, here to show you some of our hardwares. Our company, American Multinational Corporation, headquartered in Santa Clara, California, world's largest and highest valued semiconductor chip makers based on revenue. We started with Robert Noyce and Gordon Moore in July 1968. We pretty much sell everything.
Fruit.
We sell all. Headquartered out of Santa Clara, that's finances, yeah. Got nice profits. Wonderful. 2013 was our best year. Very good. I'm going to show you our 300 plus gigabyte solid state drive. This is our Neo motherboard. It's got 6 SATA 6 gigabyte a second connectors. It supports radios 4, 5, and 10. And it's just HL audio chipset.
Count the SATAs for me, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Am I counting wrong? I have to get closer.
You need a laser pointer.
You're right. Okay, it looked like 8 from over here. That's
This is our Intel 730 series solid state drive, 2.5 inch drive, 480 gigabyte capacity. It's got MLC memory components.
Stop!
Wait a minute.
What does MLC mean?
It's the type of like memory components in it. So there's like SAN disk or like flash disk. It's just the type of like memory inside solid state drive.
Is that what it is?
That's what I looked it up. So it's
Okay. What are the other options? MLC.
And it's like it's SDS.
ACL,
Yeah.
and so
Seven.
TLC. There's three different, right? It's the way that it saves the information on the drive. Is MLC the best, the fastest, and the most stable? It is in fact the slowest and the most error prone one. But it's also, because of that, the least expensive one. So if you want a TLC drive, you're gonna have to pay for it.
Was 16 by second. Maximum read speed 550 megabytes a second. Maximum write 470. Mean time before failure 2 million hours.
Okay, and by the way, if you read about MLC, which I'm sure there's going to be a link on this here in just a second by Mr. Green, since no one else knows what MLC is. But if you read about it, it says that it's the slowest and least. Okay, I'm going to go to basic vocab. Least good. It's not the word I'm looking
Least
for. I was saying.
effective,
Least. Anyway, but you can get around it by a better processor that keeps track of it, which Intel, I'm going to assume, has a better processor. So, and look at go back one. So, compare again, 550 megabytes per second compared to Max's 180, 190, whatever it was. So, we're up in the 3 times faster range on its read, right? And now we're at the point where we're almost at the point of the SATA transfer rate, right? At 600 megabytes, and it's going to read at 550. So now we're at the top end of the solid states. We're actually almost at the point of SATA 3 limitation. Okay.
Warranty 5 years. Got a read latency and write latency of 50 and 60. Transfer rates up to 550 megabits a second sequential reads and 89,000 ops random reads. Can endure 70 gigabytes of writes per day.
Endure 70 gigabytes of write per day. Okay. How long? That's an interesting number.
That's just what
Okay, I'm not disputing that number was right.
Probably 280.
What was the size of our drive?
40 gigabytes.
What? How much?
480.
480 gigabytes for $219.99. So we're at 46 cents per gig, okay, for this solid state drive. So slightly more expensive than Emma's, which we would anticipate on an Intel device that is probably, possibly a better product. I don't know, it's hard to say. It's definitely faster than the one she got, right? So she was up at 450, so it's slightly faster for this Intel one. Definitely a longer MTBF time, which we know is all theoretical. It doesn't really mean that much anyway.
They totally sit there and wait.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
Anybody see any misspellings? You can read everything? No. Oh, wait, we're excited. Oh, man, indentation. Indentation. Why can't everybody be like Emma?
Easy bid.
I highlighted this hang in that. This will work, and then just
It's only fair.
Okay.
This was perfect.
Pull through for me on that one.
Okay, we're going to take a slight pause and hope he comes back before I start talking about other stuff, because I really don't want to talk about other stuff without him here. We've got enough time for me to pause this. Okay, so we're basically done with hard drives, right? We've done our presentation, and we understand that really anymore we only have one kind of connection. We have SATA connections, and with SATA we have SATA 1, 2, and 3, which correspond to that 1.5, 3, and 6 gigabits per second, which also corresponds to 150, 300, and 600 megabytes per second, which is what they used to compare with our old PETA ones, when PETA went 133 megabytes per second, and we jumped up to here when we went to SATA from PETA. Okay? I'm not going to have anything on the test on PATA. I used to have stuff on the test on PATA. We don't have a single drive in the district on PATA. If you guys are hooking up a PATA drive somewhere, you should stop and say, hey, let's get a SATA drive. Let's not do PATA because they're slower, right? The best PATA drive, and by the way, most of them were not 133s. Most of the ones you'll find out there are 100s. Okay, the best one is 1.5 times slower than the slowest SATA that we've got. So we really want to do SATA hard drives anymore if you've got one. Okay, and if you've got SATA, really you want SATA 2 or SATA 3. And then when we compare drives, we've got traditional. There's supposed to be another versus solid state drives. What's the plus of a traditional drive, Max? Just my plus. Why would I want a traditional drive? Let's pretend I wrote that cleaner than I did. Let's start this over right here. So I'm going to get traditional. Traditional and SSD. Okay, and then I say traditional, I'm saying spinny drives, right? Spinny drives. Why do I want a traditional drive? What? Okay, give me a real reason. Why would I want a spinny drive? You just presented one. What was the positive point of our spinny drive? The biggest positive point.
I got one.
What?
Bigger storage.
Okay, there's one. That was what I was going for, but storage capacity. Okay? I have much higher storage capacity with a traditional drive. What's the second biggest reason to get a spinny drive? Cheaper price, right? Our price is way less with the traditional drive. We just saw it was, down at 6 cents per gigabyte of storage, okay? Whereas we were up to $1.96 per gigabyte of storage on a solid state drive, okay? Why do we want solid state drives? What is our positive on solid state drive? Fast, okay? We got our speed. And that's every speed. That's transfer speed, that's read speed, that's write speed. Okay? In all cases, SSD wins for speed. What else you got?
Won't be affected by vibration.
Okay, we got, I'm going to say endurance. Because it won't be affected by anything. It's not affected by heat, it's not affected by vibration, it's not affected by G's. In fact, one of the presentations this morning, that you guys didn't have, had on their presentation how many G's it could take per second. And that one could take 1,000 G's per half a millisecond. You would be turned to putty on the inside. You'd be dead. Your hard drive would be working and you'd be dead. Okay? Probably at 100th of that. If you had 10 G's per millisecond transfer rate, you'd probably be dead at that. Okay? So we've got way better speed and way better endurance. So we've got some things that both of them apply for, okay? An SSD is our best thing that we can have for our OS and our programs, really, because those are not traditionally very large in comparison to how much data we could have, which we might want to have on a traditional drive, okay? In the case of a laptop that only has one drive that you want to have good endurance on, you want to have good speed, then your choice is everything's on a solid state drive, which is why you guys want to make sure that you're backing up your stuff to your H drive. Okay, because it's not as reliable. It's not as reliable as a traditional drive as long as the drive isn't dropped and stuff. Okay, it's more reliable in a laptop. Next class, we're going to do something. Everybody has to make sure there's nothing on that drive that you want to keep tomorrow. So anything you've got needs to be backed up to your H drive. Any documents, everything. We're wiping all of our drives tomorrow because you learned how to do that. We're all going to do it tomorrow. Okay. So make sure all your stuff is backed up to your H drive during intervention or whenever. Okay. Because tomorrow when we're done, there will be nothing on your drive other than a brand new, fresh copy of it. Okay. Yes, let's make sure. Okay, so there are reasons to get both those. In my computer at home, I have exactly the same 250 gig Kingston drive that Nimbit presented today, and then I have two terabyte drives as well. Okay, in my PC at home. Many PCs anymore, like this one right here, are getting much more limited in the amount of hard drives that you can put into them. So when I look at this PC, which is a majority of our PCs here at Trail, there's only 2 spots for hard drives. Okay? And the hard drives are really easy. Hard drives, by the way, have 4 screws in them to screw in. I always recommend putting in at least 3, but these don't have any. It's just a little plastic case that pops out like that. You're not looking nice. Okay, so it's a little hard drive. There's like pins right there. You just pop it in right there, and you fold it back and get the pins in there. And it's held in that case really well. It goes in upside down. Upside down, goes in upside down. Just slides right in there. Okay. Slides right in there. Snaps when it's in there. So to take it out, you have to squeeze these to take it out. Okay. And then there's only spots for 2 drives in this case. Is that sufficient for 90% of the people out there? Yeah. Because you could easily put a solid state drive there, which is what we have in every teacher computer. And if we need to have a second data drive, we can easily put a data drive down there. And you could put a 4 terabyte data drive down there and it'd be just fine. And it would show up as a C, a D, and an E drive if you put something that big in there. And you'd be able to hold everything just fine. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of show you how to do that. We work on drives and we repair a lot of things during the year. I'm transitioning here. We do what's called imaging. It's how we fix drives or fix issues at Trail. Okay. If I was to go, and I just did this the other day, if I was to go and do all the steps of making a PC, I'd install the OS, and that would take about, I'm going to say 40 minutes to install Windows. And that's Windows. I install Windows, okay? And then I'd have to do all the Windows updates, okay? So I want to do the updates, and that's going to take 2 to 4 hours to do the updates. When we put on Windows multi-point system, which is the one I just did back there, multi-point system is at the top end, takes about 40 minutes to install. We'll start updates at 8 in the morning, and it won't be done by the end of the day. There's 196 updates to that particular operating system. Okay, so updates can take forever. So right there, that's just to get a operating system up and going. And then we've got our programs like Office, which also has another 30 plus updates. Updates. I'm having issues today. Oh my gosh. I may have had an aneurysm, but I don't know. Updates. Just pretend you know what I'm writing as we go in there. Okay, so we got Office, and then we have all the other programs that go in there. So to make a PC takes hours to make it from scratch. Okay. So what we do here at Trail is we go and we do all this process, and we make a perfect PC. And here's my picture of my perfect PC. There's my Dell sticker and my power button. And inside that is our perfect hard drive with our perfect image, okay? And we use a program to copy that off with something called FOG, which stands for Free Open Source Goes, to a file, okay? And if I were to show you FOG, and I'm going to pull up FOG right now, it's a system that we built this year at the newest version. And FOG has a whole bunch of images on it. And these images are those files that I'm talking about. This one right here that says FS6500, that is the 6500 image for your laptop right there. And in total, it takes up 23.67 gig on your hard drive. Okay? And when it's brought over here, it used to say, the new version doesn't say anymore, it takes up around 15 gig of space on this PC. So I have all these images right here that are all for different things. Okay, so like this one is a multi-point system for a GX780. That's a multi-point system for a 760. That's a multi-point system that didn't have anything else on it other than multi-point. This is a netbook image that we made. This is a 780 image for the elementary school lab. You need to know which image goes with which machine. If you put this image on that netbook, it may or may not even boot. Okay? So when we go to image stuff, we have to make sure we choose the right one. And there's some basic rules of naming that I follow that you guys need to make sure you understand. S at the beginning means it's for a student. Okay, it's a student image if it starts with an S. And honestly, this one doesn't need to say FS anymore. I could actually change that one. I'm going to do it right now. That was for fogged student because we had different names for them. I'm just going to change it to S so it makes a little more sense. So S means it's a student image. Okay, so this is a student image for a 6400 machine. Okay, that's a student image for 6500 machine, which is what you guys are using right there. Okay, that's a student image for a 6400 machine that's really small. That's what the dash S means, and that's because we have some 6400s that have little tiny hard drives that have 32 gig hard drives, and we have some that have 150 gig hard drives. So if you're going to the one that has the little hard drive, you have to make sure you send a little image, or it won't work anywhere else. That actually doesn't say how big it is, but that one only takes about 13 gig. So we have these images that you send, and if you're in question, you're probably doing the wrong one. In most cases, you can just say, "Oh, it's a multi-point system," and I look at the front, and it's a 780, so I need to send a multi-point system that goes to a 780. Okay? If you image the wrong one at some point, and it doesn't work, you can always just image another one. It doesn't hurt anything. Other than the fact that when you image, when we go and do this process, so we put it to the fog, and then we can take that file and send, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow on your laptops, and we send it back to a new PC. When you do that, it totally wipes what's ever on the PC. There is nothing there. There is no recovery software that will find it. Something you had on there. So if tomorrow Emma comes in and says, there wasn't anything that important on there, I'll just let it go, I can find it later. She will not find it later. It will not be there, okay? So if you have bookmarks that are really important to you, is anybody in that case, and you have a lot of bookmarks that you want to save? Okay? But if you did, there's a process to save those, and you can save those to your T drive, or your H drive too. But you want to save those things because once you wipe it with fog, there's no going back. It writes the whole drive. Okay? Whereas if I just went over there and reinstalled Windows, when I reinstall Windows on its own, it doesn't wipe the whole drive. It just writes the new Windows folder. It actually doesn't even delete the old Windows folder. It moves it to another folder and makes another copy. And so that's why we don't do that, because it wastes a lot of space. This way, it just shreds everything, and it's back to the way it was. Okay. So fog is actually pretty awesome because the new version of fog that we use, if I was to send it to a computer right now, in fact, I'll do that one as a demo right now. Okay. So that machine, let's see, that machine is called Master something. A Master. Okay. So there, that's called ES Master over there. I'm going to rename it to something else. We'll call it -D. I can rename it 9600. This is what I'm going to call it Master still. Okay, so I'm going to rename it, and that will actually rename that computer as well when I rename it to Fog. And I'm going to send to it the image that we use for not the elementary school lab, for the 9600 lab that's in 210. Okay. So I've just decided that's what it's going to be named. That's what I'm going to send. Oh, by the way, there's some at the bottom called Win7 something sys. Okay, a sys image, it's called sys programming, can be sent to any kind of PC because it takes longer, but it will re-add every single thing on that PC on its own. So I'm going to go ahead and send this one. I'm going to say update, and then over here I can, under the tasks, I can go ahead and say download. If you're downloading the image to that PC, and I'm going to say go ahead and start that task right now. Now, depending on how it's shut down, it may turn on its own, or it may still be on. I may need to reboot it. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and restart it and show you what the process kind of looks like. So when you turn it on, if it's all set up, which it already is, it's going to go ahead and connect up to the Fog server, which I'm looking at through Web GUI right now. It's actually in the central closet. And when it connects up to the fog server, it's going to say, and this is why all of them now look to the fog server first on the boot sequence. It's going to look and see if it's got anything for it to do, and it's going to say yes, and then it's going to go ahead. And that Kingston drive that's on there right now is going to be totally wiped. It's going to be overwritten completely. And when it's done, if you watched, fog already went by. Okay? Now it's writing to that drive. Okay? Fog will actually, when it's done, will rename that PC to what I just named it over here. It will rejoin it to the network, and Emma will be able to just go in and log on. And it says when you're doing it how long it takes. It's got to be done in 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay, so instead of us spending hours and hours, which we still had to do once, right? We still had to spend those hours to do all the updates and everything one time. But now, every time we fix something, we can just refog it. And I bring that up because it's part of the hard drive stuff. If we go to a system and they say, you know, Office isn't working, it keeps messing up, whatever. We could spend a bunch of time, which would probably take about 45 minutes to uninstall Office, to reinstall Office, and then do all the updates for Office again. Because once you uninstall and reinstall, now you're going to do all the updates again, right? I could spend 45 minutes doing that, or in the case of a student machine, and this is always in the case of a student machine, I could just do that in 5 minutes instead. And not only is it done, it's done with everything that's current. The current Flash, the current Java, the current updates, everything that we have from the last time we pulled it anyway, okay, is now going to be on that computer, and it's all set up and it's all good to go. So if you're an advanced tech, you don't spend a lot of time anymore. I don't want to say we don't spend any time troubleshooting, because if I send Brighton out to a computer that we just imaged 2 days ago and it's acting up, Brighton's going to have to do the memory test and the hard drive test that you guys have done, because something's going on with the PC, right? We just image it, but if it hasn't been imaged in a year and something's going on, it's fine. What probably happened? Somebody probably just unplugged it or turned it off in the middle of an update, or we can lose power in the middle of. There's lots of things can mess up when Windows load that this is just going to immediately fix and solve for us. Okay, so although we can do a lot of stuff to try to find issues, it's easier for us to do this and just fix everything in one fell swoop. So you guys will be doing. I know some of you guys are going to CTC, but if you're in tech, that's one of the things that we'll be doing, and we're going to do it tomorrow. And if we rebuild any PCs now for the last quarter, we'll be doing the fog thing when we're done too. Okay, so that's how we get everything in one fell swoop. So again, as I look at those images, which I closed, if you send the wrong one, and obviously at this point we're going to be doing it together, but if you ever send the wrong one, it's not a big deal. You can just send the right one next. Okay, but the ones down here at the bottom, these Win7 32sys stands for Windows 7 32-bit version, sys-prepped. It's got, actually the 12.1 means it's got the current version of antivirus, and then that's just the image number at the end, 24, and that's the image number. And this one's for the elementary school. It's got elementary school software on it too. And really, we almost should just do that one for how little extra. Oh, I guess it's 2.5 gigs. Because we could just maintain this one and just copy the icons of the desktop. Stop having two images. Could make it a batch file that just moves those icons to the desktop when we're done. It's an elementary school image for us. That's extra work. So anyway, that's yes. What's your question?
Okay, I completely forgot to ask this during this thing. When you went over raids and stuff, and we went over what a raid 0, raid 1, raid 5, what's a raid 10? Because Austin's like, this supports raid 10.
What is raid 10?
That was on your slide.
One of the different
You
reads.
said
Raids are different ways to
support Raid
hold.
1, raid 2, and raid 10. It was on your slide. It was raid 10. Open your slide.
I haven't used. There are different ways to save information on a hard drive. We don't use RAID at all, and usually it's for servers, not for. It doesn't even have a chart anymore, does it? Okay. So the difference between them. is you first of all you have to have multiple hard drives to do RAID. So if you want to do RAID 1, for instance, which we used to do, okay, RAID 1 is just copy. It means I'm going to have 2 hard drives that are the same, and it's going to keep copies of both of them on both these. So if this hard drive fails, everything's fine. It's over here. Okay. By the way, some RAIDs are slower than others. RAID 1 is slow, okay, because it has to write everything twice before it proceeds. Okay. RAID 0 is not slow because what it does is it takes 2 drives and it kind of makes them in one drive. Okay, it's still not bigger, okay, but it kind of picks which drive to write to as it goes. The problem with RAID 0 is that if this drive fails, they all fail. Because some data could be over here, some data could be over here, because we've got a problem with hard drives in that, you know, the head's got to move and stuff while you're writing, so if it writes something here and something here as it's doing stuff, it's going to be faster because it's splitting it up between drives, but there's no fail-safe, okay? And the fail-safe comes in RAID, let's slide down. So this requires 2, this requires 2. Which one's the 3 one that does the start? Is that 5?
Is the one that did best of both.
Okay, so RAID 5, the way RAID 5 works is it uses 3 drives and it maintains a copy. So it's writing kind of here and here while it writes here and here. Okay? So it's kind of doing RAID 1 and RAID 0 at the same time. And supposedly, if one drive fails, all your data is fine because no data, like if I'm going to use 2 different colors. So if this is a piece of data and this is the other copy of the piece of data, any drive could be taken out and the data still exists. Okay? So if all of a sudden this drive failed, the data still exists in the green one, right? But if this drive fails, somehow it
The
writes
green
into
to
all of
red's
them.
the same.
Yeah, there's something
The
that
green
it
to
does.
red's the same data.
Right, it's the
It's
same
just-
data.
so
Oh,
that's
right, because then
split.
it'd be here and
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Right. However, I've never had a RAID 5 fail and it be able to recover it, so I'm not a huge RAID fan. Anyways, I do different kinds of saves than that. Okay, I'm going to put this up for our class today. If you guys